now listening to.
You are now listening to
the Breaking Dads podcast. Enjoy.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Breaking Dad podcast. I am your host. My name is Woody, and this is episode 8. Ocho, wheat, for my Haitians out there, of the Breaking Dads podcast. Welcome back, everybody. I'm back. I also want to give a welcome back to my soundboard. I was actually able to find my soundboard this week, so shout out to my soundboard one time. I'm going to give a shout out to my soundboard. All right, round of applause. The soundboard is back. I don't know how much I'm going to use it this week, but it's here just in case. Thank y'all for sticking with us. Took about a week off, maybe 2. I dropped the last one around my birthday. Like I said, it was a busy time. You know, my birthday, and then 2 days later is my fiance's birthday. Then the following week is my mother's birthday. And as of, 2 days ago was Smitty's birthday. So shout out to all my fellow Leos. And shout out to all my peoples who had birthday in this month. Matter of fact, August 9th, I forgot about my boy Chuck. Chuck's on the 9th as well. I think my boy Spence had one as well not too long ago. His was this month too. So all my Leos, shout out to y'all. This summer, it's been a busy summer, but I am back. Thank you for all the response, the positive response I got about last week's episode. It was a little different vibe from my normal episodes, but everyone seemed to enjoy it. I got a lot of positive feedback from it. So I want to thank y'all for any kind of feedback at all, but especially the positive kind. Really, really appreciate that. But this summer, been super busy, and it's coming to an end. That's what August really signifies. But we also had while I'm doing these birthdays, I'm sorry, I completely forgot. Today, the 16th, is everybody's auntie, Mama, Angela Bassett. Happy birthday to her. I believe she's turning 60, and she definitely doesn't look it. So shout out to Angela Bassett, and also rest in peace to Aretha Franklin. Absolute icon. The music, well, I grew up listening to compa mainly, but best believe those Aretha Franklin records. Tina Turner, my mom listened to that music as well, and Aretha got played in the house for sure. I struggle with saying Aretha for some reason. I don't know, but y'all all know who I'm talking about. Respect. I almost butchered that. Helped me to learn how to spell that word, just that alone, before we even talk about the greatness. So shout out to her. Rest in peace. Thoughts and prayers to her loved ones. Absolutely. But to bring it back to a more uplifting kind of message, I want to give a congratulations out to 2 of my friends from my job. I got my boy Harrell. Well, Ron, sorry, I got to remember. I'm going to call him Ron. Now, Ron and Melissa, they just had their wedding on the 11th. Yes. Do I got another? No, I don't got another round of applause queued up for that, but it's all right. But shout out to them. They just had their wedding. Me and Jen were in attendance, so there we go. Yes. Quick round of applause for love, man. We were in attendance. It was a beautiful affair. Man, had a lot of fun. So much fun. It was just good seeing if you've ever been around them, you could just tell that those 2 really do love each other. And that's beautiful to see, especially nowadays. And just seeing the 2 families come together to celebrate them, families and friends. And man, did we turn up in there. I tell you that. It was an open bar too, so you already know the drinks was flowing. And that dance floor got tore up. We had a ball, and it honestly got me and Jen even more hyped for our wedding next year. So, oh man, shout out to them. Congratulations. I believe they're on their honeymoon still right now. So they won't be hearing this, but regardless, I just wanted to go ahead and give them that shout out for sure. Also, the end of the summer is also signifying the girls, Callie and Amaya, going to preschool. Oh, man. That's big. It's been it's been something else, trying to get them prepared, get them ready, going school shopping for the first time. I think I've always known, it costs money. I grew up, I was one of those kids that grew up knowing the value of $1. But man, being on the other side of it, this is something else. Here goes my alarm. Sorry, y'all. That would be my time to wake up for work normally. So sorry for that. But as I was saying, it's just something else to be on the other side of it. This is really, really expensive. But I'm excited. I'm gassed for it. I felt like I've taught them a lot. But, I'm not a professional, so I'm happy that they'll be able to go to a school, and the preschool they're going to is amazing. I met with the director personally, and she won me over. So I'm really, really excited for that. Really, really excited for them to get to school, make some more friends. They're little social butterflies already. If you ever met them, So I'm sure they'll have a great time, and it'll also give me some more free time. So shout out to that for sure. This week in the podcast, I'm going to start it off a little bit different. I just kind of wanted to give y'all a little recap, catch up kind of thing, shoot the breeze with y'all. But I checked the email this week, as I do every week, but I checked the email, and I did have a couple of emails. So shout out to y'all that send in emails. I am going to read them. I had a couple questions on here. Some of them were just, positive feedback, some were negative feedback, but I'm gonna read the questions I had off on here, and I'm gonna answer them right here. But once again, the email is breakingdadpc @gmail.com. You can send any questions, suggestions, any topics you want to hear, anything you want to talk about, you can send them to there. I do check it all the time, so you guys send them there. I'll read them out on here. Probably future podcasts might go at the end of the show, but for this one, we're going to start off at the beginning. So I'm going to pull up the first email here from Sean B. He asks, when will you have guests again on the podcast? That was it. Okay, Sean. I'll have him on. I don't know. Everyone's schedule is just so busy. I had some people ask to be on that I am for sure going to get on. I know I do have a couple people in mind to get on. I know Mason will be back again. I know that I'm trying to work on a couple people. I kind of don't want to put their names out there just so I don't, put that unneeded pressure on them. But I put enough pressure on them already. So I am working on getting guests on again. And getting into now, especially now that I've felt I've gotten into a little bit more of a groove, I will definitely for sure have more guests on. I've been working on a guest for a while now, and you guys will not, I promise you guys will not be let down by this guest when I do have them on. Next email. Thank you for the email, by the way, Sean. I got another one here from Trent C. I'm just not putting people's last names out. They have first name, last names on there. That's why I'm only doing Trent C. It says, sup, Woody. Enjoy the podcast. Listen on my commute to Hoboken. Okay, Jersey in the building. What up? Wait, he didn't say that. Let me start over. Sorry. Sup, Woody. Enjoy the podcast. Listen on my commute to Hoboken. Whenever there's an episode to be available, that is. Which brings me to my question. When will the podcast be dropping on a regular basis? Doesn't seem to be a set day. I really look forward to listening to it with my other podcast, seeing as though I have a long commute. Keep up the good work. All right, Mr. Trent. I said on previous episodes, I've been trying to figure out which day is the best day for me to drop them with my schedule and with the girls and everything. Like I said, they will be starting preschool soon, so I will have a little bit more of a set schedule, or at least time block opened more. But right now the girls are napping, so I'm recording while they're napping. A lot of times you'll see I record while they're out and playing, and they'll come over, and it makes recording a little bit more difficult, but I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly, because this is so much fun to me to record. But I am working on a regular time slot. I don't know if it'll be Fridays or Wednesdays. Those are the two I'm looking for. Those were the best days. Or either Friday for them to drop. I will be recording the day prior, or sometimes I'll record same day. Like I believe this is coming out same day. But yes, that's the days I'm looking at. So Mr. Trent, thank you. Shout out to you. And it's the last one. Well, no, I got two more. These I saved. I'm gonna read these two last. I haven't opened them yet, so I am reading and reacting live for y'all. But I saw female names, so I thought that was incredible. I didn't know I had female listeners, so I want to shout out these two ladies. So I'm gonna open Danielle's. Hey Woody, enjoy the podcast and have recommended it to a couple of my friends. Your last episode about toxic masculinity was really eye-opening, and I had my brothers listen to it as well as my boyfriend. I just wanted to give you some encouragement to keep going because conversations like the one you had need to be had nowadays. Keep up the good work, and also, how's the wedding planning going? I miss hearing about that. All right. So shout out to Danielle. Thank you very much for the email. And thank you for the encouraging words, and thank you especially for sharing the podcast. That's only going to help it grow. But if anything I could say, like I said before, if anything I could say can help anybody, I'm with it. And that's what I do it for. The wedding planning is going well. We just had to hit a big reset button not too long ago, but besides that, it's going well. We have our location. I think we're starting to really get the ball rolling. Got some cake tasting and stuff coming up. I think we got a meeting with the DJ. We've already got the caterer on down. So right now it's really just the guest list. That's the big heart attack. My fiance has a big family, and we're just trying to keep it low, keep it intimate. So not trying to have too big of a guest list, and then especially because we're out of state for a lot of our family, everyone being back up in Jersey, we know that adds a whole nother element to it. So, but it's going, and I am enjoying every single process, every step of the process. I am getting into my favorite part, honestly, which will be my suit. So, yes, I'm going to go up to Jersey and get fitted for a custom suit, or get my measurements and go over the ideas I want for this custom suit. So yeah, that I'm really, really hyped for. And I can't wait. So yes, Danielle, thank you very much. And once again, appreciate the email. Let's go. I'm going to read this last one from Lisa. Oh, this is a short one. She says, bring back Mason. That guy is funny as hell. That's all. P.S. Better hear this on the show. Okay, Miss Lisa. Mason will be back for sure. He is funny as hell. It's better not be Mason sending this email. If he opened the catfish account. This sounds like something he would do. But no, Mason will be back. I'm sorry, Miss Lisa, if you're listening, I'm sorry. He's okay. Anyway, he will be back though, for sure. He'll be a regular on the show. I'm not even gonna lie. That's my boy, and I appreciate his opinions on a lot of things, and even some of these deep dives we're gonna go into. So he'll be back on for sure. Don't worry. Rest assured, he'll be back. So yeah, that's it for the emails I got. I want to thank y'all once again for sending those out there. Keep them coming. Once again, it's the breakingdadspc@gmail.com, and I will be reading them on the show. So keep them coming in. Before I get into what I wanted to really get into on this episode, I want to know what you guys are watching this summer. Or going into this fall, since we're coming into the fall and we know that's big time for TV. I'm a big TV watcher. I used to not be. I used to only really watch my live sports, but I really got into shows, like more shows now. And I got a little list of shows, and I got a little run of shows that I watch. I think I talked about this on a couple podcasts ago, and I shouted out Jane the Virgin, which I dare you to judge me on, because that's a good show in my opinion. But I just had about a month ago, one started back up, but two of my shows just started back up, Insecure and Ballers, both on HBO. Love those shows. Please let me know if y'all watch those as well. I'll talk about those shows more on here. Power, I think y'all already know. I watch Power, love Power. Let me know if y'all want me to talk about that on here. I will. Definitely have some interesting takes, and I'm full of theories. So I'm one of those guys that's going to give you theories on the show for sure. So, but just let me know on that. But I'm going to go ahead and get into what I really wanted to discuss this week. It's something that's kind of been on my mind a little bit, just watching how things are playing out in society nowadays. And it's really just dealing with this era that we're living in, or even just people growing up. Like, I feel like I really wanted to get my guest I wanted on this week. I know I keep saying that, but it's one of my homeboys. He's a younger cat. I really wanted to get him on here because he's really one of those ones that are growing up in this era of social media, you know. And I just really, like, for us, it's just growing up in this digital footprint age. Like, that's really, like, I guess that's kind of like the main topic. Like last week was, toxic masculinity. It's really growing up or dealing with, navigating. That's what I want to say. Navigating this digital footprint era. And it's really, like, we always knew, like, when we started getting jobs, they would always say, well, you got to be careful because these jobs are going to check your Twitter. They're going to check this, check that. But now that, people have archives, people have, like, years going back. Back then it was like, oh, you just got a Twitter back in 2009, 2010 or whatever. So they're going to check your Twitter. Be careful what you're putting on there as what you're putting in now, present. Now they have an archive to go back 4 or 5 years. So it's really navigating that. Like, how does that, it trickles down into a lot of things. I want to say it really trickles down to every aspect of your life when you think about it, because you can think about your professional life and how that might affect work. Like, you got a coworker. Like, I got a coworker right now. Shout out to Crow. Me and him will have debates on all kinds of, like, things. Not even debates, just conversations. I won't say it's a debate because it's never heated. We'll just talk. He grew up in Jersey as well, actually. Go figure. But he grew up differently than I did, And he's a white guy. And we'll discuss things. Like, we'll discuss all different types of subject. And he has a completely different point of view of it. Just him being a white male that didn't grow up where I grew up. I'm just going to leave it at that. And he, was in the military, all those other things. And it's just, he's a bit more, I would say he's more of a conservative. He's more of a conservative and I'm way more of a liberal. But we have no problem, laughing, joking. And I have no problem having conversations or even having friends or acquaintances, friends, whatever you want to call it. Work friends, acquaintance, whatever you want to call them, with people who are Republicans, who are conservatives, whoever, whatever they may be. I personally don't have a problem with that, and he doesn't overstep the line and I don't overstep the line, because there are lines to be stepped on both sides. I don't go and disrespect him or his views or his opinions, and he doesn't do the same for mine. And when he's explaining his things, I listen with an open ear. I really do try to understand where he's coming from and his point of view. Even if in a topic I may think I'm absolutely right about it, I will listen to try and see where the hell it is he's coming from. Not just saying, oh, he's white, he don't get it, he don't understand, Because he could just chalk it up the same thing and say the same thing. Oh, this just black guy grew up in the hood, well, quote unquote hood. Don't really understand, he don't get it, yada, yada, yada. No, he doesn't do that. So I say all that to basically say, imagine if you have this coworker and you get to know them and you talk to them and they seem like a good person, and then you go back and let's say you exchange social media, you got a cool, coworker, you exchange social media, and you go back and now you start to read some of the things they thought about back when they were, let's just say 14, 15 years old. I just don't think that's fair, because that may not be a representative of who they are now. So that can affect you in your life, in your personal life, your work life. Sorry, that can affect you at your work life. You meet somebody like that. Now, let's just say in a relationship, or let's just say in personal life, you go out, you meet somebody, you hit it off with them. I know that's really weird. People don't really meet new people like that. You really meet, your new friends at work sometimes. But let's just say you meet someone new, you hit it off. Let's say you're at the gym. You meet somebody, you hit it off with them, and, you become friends with them, and then, exchange social media, and you go back and this person, was spewing off, a bunch of F-bombs and, some homophobic stuff and all these other things. Would that make you, that makes you feel that they may not be that way nowadays. We know, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys. I'll always keep it 100 with you guys. We know back in the day, me personally, I'll say it, I used to let that F word fly, and I'm talking about the one that rhymes with maggot, that one. I used to let that fly. Maybe not derogatorily. I never said it to a homosexual person, but I always used it almost like an extra curse word. You know what I'm saying? Like I would just use it, just to like throw it at somebody as an insult, which was wrong. Now, when you think about it, but back then it was a little bit more accepted. We're just gonna keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Like I understand it's offensive to the point where I don't even say it. Like there's certain things I don't say. Like I don't curse at all anyway. But like that, the name of the Washington football team, I don't say it because once it's explained to me, not explained to me, but once you evolve, you'll grow, and once you evolve and grow, you learn things, or you just see things differently. And I see it differently, and I understand more once I sat down and really had a conversation with someone who is homosexual, and they explained to me, how that word made them feel. I can't say that no more. I can't. Well, I can, but I shouldn't, and I won't, and I don't. But you see how I may have felt differently then, but then someone who I met, like if I meet this gay guy homosexual guy at the gym or wherever else, let's just say I have I have a teammate that may be gay, and we're on the team together, we hit it off, we're become friends, and he gets, or acquaintances, whatever, and he gets my social media, and he goes back years and years and years and years and years and years, and then just sees me laughing and joking with my friend, and I drop that F word. You know what I'm saying? You see the damage a digital footprint can do, and I don't think I ever did that on Twitter, but I'm just saying, can you really remember what you put? Hey, can you even remember I think I had a Twitter since 2000. I was early on Twitter. I think I had a Twitter back in 2008, 2007, maybe. I think right after high school, I had one. I remember I had one on my BlackBerry because I used to use Uber Twitter on a BlackBerry. But I say all that to say, like, you never, like, that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be careful with that. And the other side of it really has to be, and that's hard. I feel like that's hard for these kids growing up now, because like I said, when I got a Twitter, I wasn't that young. I was fresh out of high school. I was 17, 18. Was I still young? Was I still a kid? Absolutely. But I'm just saying, I didn't have a Twitter at 12, 13, like these kids are 12, 13, 14 years old. Who knows what the heck I would have said? But now imagine I'm 20 now. If I was 20, I'm just saying. I had one since I was 13, and I'm now 22, going into, the job field. Just graduated college, 22, 23 years old, graduated college, and now I got me a corporate job. And I have this Twitter that's, let's say 22, 23, let's say it's over 10 years old. I have 10 years worth of stuff, and things that I would say and thought of 10 years ago. I don't think that same way. I don't feel that same way. Like I said, I grew up, I have a friend of mine, Gary, who helped me see homosexual. That was the only homosexual male friend I ever had at the time. And he helped me to just see things differently, just being that close. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like certain people, it's hard to, everyone should have love and understanding for everybody, but you don't know what it's like until you interact with somebody of that kind, and I know this is really heavy, but rock with me still, and it wasn't till then that I really understood it. You know what I'm saying? Like really, really understood, and it helped me. Like I just sat down, just had conversation, normal, like, and that's when you realize, like, cause you get these caricatures, you get these stereotypes. And I mean, Gary was, to this day, a cool dude. Like, I considered him family, easily. But it's not till you get that close to him that you can really understand. And I always encourage everybody to just talk to people. Just talk, because you never know what one conversation could do. It can completely change your mind. And even let's just say you have one conversation and it's not a good conversation. That shouldn't be your only, you know what I'm saying? If you have a conversation, like if you're a white person, you have a conversation with a black person, and let's just say that person might be having a bad day and you don't have a good conversation with them. That doesn't mean all black people are bad. You know what I'm saying? But you have an understanding more if you spend time around those kind of those types of people. If you spend time around more, Spanish people, you'll understand Spanish people more. You'll get, oh, that's why they say they're like that. Well, that's why that's why this happens. That's why that's happening. And you'll understand it more. That's kind of why they say, to get it to a deeper topic. And I know I'm kind of like, but follow me here. I'm kind of like drifting off. I keep forgetting I don't have visuals yet. But it's kind of like why they say they don't want police that don't understand black people to police black people. Because it's something as simple as you might be seeing some guys with the dominoes table out, and they're yelling, da, 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 slamming the dominoes. You might think a fight's about to break out if you never understood that or you never seen that before. Hey, yo, these guys about to fight over there, and, you don't understand that. You never seen people at the spades table before, You never understood, you don't understand that this guy just reneged and that's why they're yelling at each other. Not these guys about to fight, which, I found out that reneging can be fight worthy, but no, but on a serious note, you wouldn't understand that. So it goes to the same way, in my opinion. I just feel like have conversations with people, talk to people, and you'll get a better understanding of them. And after, like I said, after dealing with that, it opened my eyes way more. And I get it now. And I'm completely different than I was back then. I grew, I evolved, I became better. So it's just really important to just be careful what you put out there. You really have to, because you never know that for us, this sounds like a little bit of a bar, but for us, honestly, that wasn't real life. Hold on, stick with me here. I felt like for us, MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, when we got those things, that was the pretend land. That was the fake world. And it's, in my opinion, it still is. But rock with me here. We would have, just think about the way we used to talk to each other. We would oh man, go ahead, kill yourself. Nowadays you can't say that. Because there's people nowadays that if that's all they see, if people talk to them like that, they have a YouTube page and that's the YouTube comments they hear. That's what they see on their comments on Instagram, on Twitter and stuff like that. That's different because this is real life to them. For us, that was the fake land for us. That wasn't the real world. Our MySpace was, a little funny. Look, we were coders back then too. I was having this conversation with my fiance not too long ago. But we were little coders back then, that Facebook and MySpace wasn't real. Nowadays, that's the real world to people. So it's nowadays, they're everything. And it's completely different. So especially for people around my age, I would definitely urge you all to go back and look at what it is that you put up there. And then moving forward, move accordingly. And even for the people growing up now, understand that in 10 years, who knows, it might not be around, but 10 years ago, we said the same thing. So you don't know. But be careful what you're putting out there because you got to give yourself an opportunity to still grow and evolve. So that's where I stand out. I feel like with a lot of these things nowadays with people pulling up people's old tweets, some people show who they are. Understood. But at the same time, you do need to apologize for it. If I said something offensive, I understand how annoying it could be, but I feel like when you're a public figure and you said something years ago and you left it up there and, you forgot about it, honestly. But if people, are offended by it, apologize and explain that that's not who you are. I don't feel that way anymore unless you do. Now that's different. That's completely different, but you don't. I could have honestly told you, man, I'll never, no, I still don't do that. But some of these cats, let's just say growing up, especially a lot of y'all I see out there, Oh, nah, I'll never wear my I know this is so silly, but rock with me. I'll never wear my cape out. Nah, man, you gotta tie the cape up. Tie the cape up. Look at these guys now. These kids brought do-rags back. These kids are wearing it with their cape down, and a lot of you grown men are wearing your capes down too. Oh, I'm sorry, I just got bad. But man, that's a pet peeve of mine. Tie your capes up. Come on, y'all. You youngins too, man. Y'all need some OGs to tell y'all better. And I'm one of them, so go ahead. Tie your capes up. But something as silly as that, let's just say. Something as silly as that. You didn't think that back then, but now look at you now. Something like I said, like that F word. People used to say it a lot back then. You don't feel that way now. Now you get a better understanding of people. Now it's different. The time is different. I mean, I think to bring it back to me, I think my wedding party, I think it's called, reflects how way differently I am now. I have all different types of people in my wedding party. Heck, females in my wedding party. It's going to be with the groomsmen. I have a groomswoman. I have me and Jen's wedding party has a different aspect of every type. We got Spanish people up there. We got some Haitians. We got some, some black folks. And we don't got no white people up there. But could have. It was close. Could have. If we were going to have more people. But, I just say that to say, like, it's just give yourself opportunity to grow. Give yourself opportunity to evolve without putting yourself in that kind of hot water. Just be careful. Be mindful of what you put out there. Like, I understand some people, it's just social media. And for me, like I said, growing up, that's how it was. I kind of see that to this day. It's not real life to me. People are not giving their real lives on there, but people take it as so. So what you put out there, just be careful so that you don't hurt yourselves as well as others. But, look out for self first. Don't hurt yourself. Now, if you do feel these ways and you do have those feelings, I encourage you, like I said, have conversation with people. You'll see people totally different. I promise you. You'll understand. Is every interaction going to be perfectly fine? No, it's not. I've had conversations with some people about race, whatever it may be, people of some white people, heck, some Asian people, and it wasn't a good conversation. We did not have a good conversation. But do I hold that against everybody? No. But does it give me a better understanding? Yes. Do I understand their culture a little bit more? Yes. Way more than I did before. Mannerisms, certain things, way that they talk, stuff like that. I understand it more. So that's really what I really wanted to discuss today. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I just want to give a shout out to everybody who's still listening to this podcast. I appreciate y'all. Breaking Dads Podcast on Facebook, Breaking Dads PC on Twitter. Hit me up there. I wanted to bring back the middle finger segment, but I don't really have one now. But I am going to bring back the quote and end the podcast there. I don't know who this quote came from, but I read it and I really did like it. And I think this is really going to lead to maybe another podcast in the future. But it says, happiness is not something that you postpone for the future. It's something that you design for in the present. I'll say that one more time. Happiness is not something that you postpone for the future. It's something that you design for the present. And all right, y'all. This is the Breaking Dads Podcast. We out.